Hey everyone, it's Grace and welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be reviewing the Maybelline Fit Me Powder Foundation. But before that, please don't forget to click the subscribe button down below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and please don't forget to click the notification bell so you'll be notified if I upload new videos here and there. And without further ado, let's get on to it. If you are new to my channel, my foundation reviews, I use them for at least 2 weeks or a month, or sometimes I use it over a month because it's foundation and you tend to react differently. You tend to react differently, so before I recommend something, I want to give it a fair shot. I know what I'm recommending to you guys. So I've been using this for maybe 2 weeks or over 2 weeks already, so yeah. So I really wanted to test out the new Maybelline Fit Me Skin Fit Powder Foundation. So I have it in the shade 120 Classic Ivory, and this is how it looks like. I love the Fit Me Matte Plus Poreless. I also love their concealers. I also have it in 120 Classic Ivory. So this is how my skin looks like. I have a few acne scarring, you guys could see. A few textures on my face which I don't know what happened. It was doing okay, and a few like red acne scarring here and there, but overall my skin has definitely improved through the months. So this one sells for 349 pesos. Sorry, yung fingerprints. But I love the compact. It sells for 349 pesos. I don't know how much the refill sells because I'm pretty sure they will sell a refill kasi there's a hole where you can pop out the powder. So it's been a while since I've used like powder foundations. Powder foundations were like the first things that I actually played around with makeup because I wanted to cover up my pimples when I was like 15. So ayun. I used like two-way cake foundations. Mas sanay ako doon because I like to use a damp sponge, but I'll be using the sponge that came with the compact. So here it is. So I didn't apply any concealer, just wanted to see how it will cover up my imperfections. I also didn't apply a primer. I just have sunscreen on my face / moisturizer. It's been a while since I've used sponges like this, so I want to swatch it first to see how the powder feels like. It feels really smooth. Parang shock na shock ako, I think this is gonna be a little bit too light. The powder feels really nice. It says here ultra smooth poreless coverage and ultra lightweight. So yeah, micro velvet powder smoothens and refines skin finish, blurring pigments to vanish pores and control oil. Now wide range of skin fitting shades available. So I don't know. Let us see. Actually have more texture and more redness here, so I'm gonna start off with this side and mas kita nyo. So I'm just gonna use the sponge that comes with it. So I'm just gonna take a little bit, then I'm just gonna pat excess here. And tarang sobrang noob ko, hindi ko alam kung paano gumamit ng sponge, but anyways. Walang amoy yung powder, which is great. Medyo maputi siya, guys. But since I have acidic skin, foundations tend to like oxidize on me. Kitang-kita yung pagkahati kung saan yung whoops. So I'm just gonna put this. Napansin ko, hindi siya nagkikling sa dry patches because I've used like powders before na talagang nagmumukhang kind of patchy or like dry yung skin. This one is actually pretty good at that. Hindi na accentuate yung dry patches. So ayan, I just want to blend it to the hairline a little bit kasi medyo hindi siya nakablend sa hairline. In terms of coverage, I would say medium. Kita ko pa yung imperfections ko. Actually, I see a lot of my imperfections still. Pero okay naman siya. I love how smooth the powder is. In terms of the poreless, I don't know. So I'll just have to do this side of my face para lang makita natin. full face done. Ang smooth ng powder, I really like it. If you actually have concealer underneath, I think one layer will be enough. So, ayun. I don't like to layer powder foundations kasi, pero guys, I'm very, very impressed how it doesn't make my face look cakey or like powdery, yung medyo flaky, ganon, flaky. So, I'm actually really liking it. Ayan. Ito, kasi wala masyadong i-cover naman. Nag-cover naman niya yung mga dark spots and discoloration, yung redness, hindi masyado. So, I'm just gonna put a little bit on areas that need more coverage. This one looks, it's medium to almost full coverage. But if you have like, you know, raised pimples and stuff, I don't think it will cover it. So, ayun. And I like it even if nag 2 layers na ako, hindi pa rin siya nag-accentuate ng dry patches. Hi guys! So, it's day 2 of the Maybelline Fit Me Powder Foundation. So, I applied the makeup around 1:30 p.m. It is Harry Potter. It is, wait, 9:18. So, I didn't blot the whole day. But what I did was I did apply primer, but it's a primer oil. So I have a feeling this powder has great oil control, considering the fact that I used a primer oil. And I also used concealer today underneath my foundation, and it still looks good. So the thing is, I really like about this, it doesn't accentuate like the dryness of your skin. So that's usually what I do underneath powder foundations. I apply primer oil, but I feel like this one you don't even need to. So, yay! Okay, so it is day 3 of me using the Maybelline Fit Me. So I wanted to show you guys how it looks under harsh lighting. As you guys could see, very flawless pa rin yung itsura niya. And hindi ganun ka-oily yung aking skin. And again, I used the same primer oil. So I feel like tong powder na to talagang maganda ang kanyang oil control. So I used the Illuminating primer oil. So I did my makeup around 3 p.m. 3 p.m. It is now, anong oras na ba? It is 9:28 in the evening. So, I mean, kung ganito pa rin ka-flawless, I mean, tingnan nyo naman, powder lang yan. Pero I did conceal a few imperfections. Mas gusto ko pa rin yung may concealer underneath if I really want a flawless look. Pero overall, tong powder na to, I love it. So, ayan. So, let us blot together again. Ayan. Ayan. There's the oil. So, yay! Ayan na. Oil galore. Pero like, kapag titignan nyo, hindi ganun kalala. So, yeah! Hey everyone, so I think today will be my last update for the Fit Me Powder Foundation. I don't know, I hope you guys don't mind narinig yung ulan, but yeah, this is how it looks like. It's a bit oily because I've been using like a oil primer, pero it's not to a point that it's like super like, whoa, parang mantika. No, it's actually doing pretty good. So, yeah, I'm really loving this Fit Me Powder Foundation. So this will be my last update. And here you go. I did my makeup around 3 o'clock. It is now 7:36. It's 7:36, so it's holding up pretty good. And I use an oil primer. So this is doing really good. It has better oil control when I use like a mattifying primer, of course. But for oil primer, not too bad. So I've used it maybe, I don't know how many check-ins I did as of this moment, because sometimes I forget to do check-ins or I forget what day it was. So yeah, so I have it in the shade 120 Classic Ivory, which is the same shade with my Fit Me Matte Plus Poreless by Maybelline, which is also 120 Classic Ivory. This is what I have on my face today. I did my makeup around 3 p.m. It is already 9:24. Yes, I like to be exact. And then this is how the packaging looks like. This one is 349 pesos. I haven't seen if they'll do like I don't know how much the refill is, but I'm pretty sure there'll be, because there's a circle there, as I mentioned. So yeah, I'm not quite sure if this is available in other countries or in the US. I don't know, is this available in the US? I hope it is. So yeah, absolutely love this powder foundation. It took a while for me to, I've kind of went back to using BB creams, foundations, because they just tend to look more natural than using powder foundations. But this one, it's one of the powder foundations that I've loved again. Like, I stopped using powder foundations for the longest time. This one I absolutely love. And the thing that I love about this, it doesn't look powder. Like, especially when you apply it on your forehead, because my forehead tends to be dry, especially. I don't know why. It's drier here, and especially here, forehead, and like here. It tends to kind of, if I use a powder foundation, it tends to accentuate the dry patches. This one, it doesn't accentuate the dry patches. Although, I don't really like using it with the sponge that came with it. As you guys could see, it actually looks very powdery like the first time I used it, but I wanted to give it a shot with the sponge that came with it. I mean, you can use it for touch-ups, but I wouldn't really recommend it to like apply it like with the, I don't know, it doesn't look natural. So what I like to do is use a damp sponge. I kind of just spritz it a little bit. It doesn't like ruin the texture of the powder. The powder remains smooth. It's really smooth. Really smooth. It has amazing coverage. It's not like super full coverage, but it takes you to almost full coverage. So I really love that. And yeah, so it looks very almost skin-like in a way if you use like a sponge. It has amazing oil control. The thing that I've noticed with powder foundations is that hindi maganda oil control. The oil control is not great, and I would oil up maybe like a couple of hours after, and I don't know what's with it. This is like the first powder foundation I've used in a while. It has amazing oil control. So if you really want it to look matte the whole time, or matte longer, I suggest you guys use a mattifying primer, a silicone primer, or like a blur makeup primer. But since I don't like using those, even if I use those, it doesn't look bad. It looks pretty matte, and it doesn't accentuate the dry patches. But I'm kind of in the point in my life that I like a little bit more dew in my face, even if I have combination oily skin, sometimes leaning more on the oily side. But I've been loving kind of using a primer oil, so that's what I've been using. And even if I'm using primer oil, the oil control is still pretty good. So I would oil up after a few hours pa, and I'm using oil control primer. I like an oil-based primer. So oil control is amazing. The shade selection, I forgot to check, but I think it has the same shade selection with the Fit Me Matte Plus Poreless here in the Philippines, or in Asia in general. So I'm just gonna put how many shades they have. So I think I have the second lightest shade, because I think the shade next to this is 128 Warm Nude, which was my first shade in the Matte Plus Poreless by Maybelline. I've had this, and it's just, I don't know, I just really like it. It's flawless, but it's powder and stuff like that. If you want more coverage, what I've been doing is actually applying concealer underneath if I want to conceal certain areas, and then powder. You can also use it alone. It works well either way. It doesn't look cakey on top of concealer. It doesn't look cakey on its own. So yeah, if you have problems of it being too like powdery looking, what you can do is basically just use a setting spray, and it kind of just melts everything together. So the Maybelline Fit Me Powder Foundation, it's definitely something I will be repurchasing. Sometimes if I'm in a hurry and I don't have time to like do the foundation and blend everything, this is like my go-to one, and I know I'll be okay the entire day. Hope you guys like my review for the Maybelline Fit Me Powder Foundation, and don't forget to click the subscribe button down below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you'll be notified if I upload new videos here and there. Without further ado, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!